big game against a team that we knew they were going to come in here fired up for the way that we beat them on New Year's Day at their place. The team has a lot of pride. They won our league last year, and to come out and play like this, the guys stepped up in a big way and in a game that we really needed.
Penny, you guys, I think, have won 6 of the last 7 matchups. Obviously, we know what you guys did on New Year's. What is it about this matchup that you think just kind of brings out the best in this team?
I really don't know. I wish we could bottle it up. Honestly, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's the actual matchups that we have, but it's just, I know the history of Wichita State basketball, and I think that the preparation for them is always tough because we know that they're a team that can get after you and that can beat you. So I think it's just the fear of losing and knowing that they can beat us, because sometimes they go into games and they overlook teams. We know we could never overlook Wichita State, so those guys, they play extra hard.
Terry and then Mark.
Hey, Coach, defensively, that's probably one of the first halves of basketball you played defensively this year. What did you do well defensively and how can you carry that over?
We made them take tough shots. We sped them up and made them take tough shots. That's what we try to do to everybody. They didn't make their shots, but it was because we pushed them into situations where they had to take tough shots. So we wanted them to be a jump shot shooting team today, and it happened for us. And they didn't knock down the shots.
Penny, to see your players, the team, the whole program kind of perform as well as they did in a high stress moment, given where we are. How reassuring is that going into the last week of the regular season, the conference tournament, to see you guys put together a complete performance like this?
Yeah, no, it feels good because that's what you want to see as a staff. You want to see the carryover from what we've been teaching all year. And we have spurts to where we look really good in games, and then we'll have a lull to where we look pretty poorly. But today, it was a complete game. Proud of that.
Coach, you just mentioned Wichita State's history. During the game, fans were, kind of, having fun with Wichita State, and one of the coaches turned around and said, "You guys will make one NCAA tournament, and we've made plenty." So to have a coach on the sideline kind of say something like that, how does that motivate you guys when teams are kind of looking at Memphis in that way? Yeah, we're building our culture. They've done a great job at Wichita State. I mean, he's right. We have to make it first, but right now we're fighting our hearts out to do whatever we need to do. But it's more motivation for us to do so, because if you're not making NCAA tournaments, then you're not being successful. And they have a string of years in a row where they were so dominant. Whether that was the right thing to say at the time, maybe not. But we'll have to respect that and then just take that energy into the conference tournament.
Let's go Mike and then Jeff. Yep.
Penny, you said last week that you can't have March Madness without February success. You're now turning the calendar to March. This is a program that you've built that the last 2 Februaries, really, you've been almost unbeatable. How do you translate that to the most important month of your season, which is March, which starts in a couple days? Yeah, that's just with the preparation. That's with the understanding of what's at stake. We've really been preparing so hard for these games because we know what's at stake. So for us to transition from February to March, it's the same mentality. It's 1-0. We've kept that same mentality of the tunnel vision of just being 1-0, not trying to overlook anyone. South Florida played a great game last night at Cincinnati and beat them. They're very capable at home because teams play well at home. So we know it's not going to be easy. We never said it was going to be, and we just have to go out. We're in a position to take care of our own selves, and we just have to continue to stay strong and stay together.
Jeff, Jason, and Stephen.
You said the other day that you don't like adventurous. Was it nice to have a game where you could relax just a little bit?
It was very nice. We haven't had one of these in a long time, honestly, and it was nice to have all the everything clicking on the same level with the guys, and to have some breathing room.
Is today's game a sign of you kind of getting your wish? You've said before you when you get to a 10-point lead, you want to push it to a 15, to a 20, to a 25, and they kind of did that today. I mean, is this a sign that they're finally sort of things are clicking for the players? What you've been preaching?
Yeah, I'm definitely celebrating all small victories, and that small victory is me wanting us to get the killer mentality when we get up 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 and just keep pushing it and don't let off the gas. Even though, the second half it was 40-42, but we still played strong for the entire game.
Penny, whatever you said to Landers before the Houston game, it seems like he's really taking it to heart. Not only is he scoring more, he's scoring efficiently, 50%, I think, in 4 of the last 5 games. I guess how proud of you have you been to how he's responded to you and kept this up as you guys have kind of extended your winning streak?
Yeah, very proud. But I was hoping that starting him against Houston was going to do that. He's a basketball player, and I want him to be happy. When he's happy, he plays at a high level, and that's where I want him to stay. Showing him the utmost respect and confidence in his game to let him go out there and play the way that he wants to play within the system. And we're getting him shots, and he's knocking down shots for us. So for me, his hard work, even still having a leg injury, still trying to work through that and still play for us has been big for us.
Penny, just as a follow-up to that, when Landers is hitting shots, what does that do for the offense for everyone around him when he's scoring the way he did, especially in the first half?
Yeah, when he's scoring, he can score in bunches. It gives everyone else confidence. It gives everyone else that feeling of, okay, he's ready to play and that he's hot. When he gets hot, he's hard to stop. And, that gave Lester some momentum today. And, we ended up shooting 50% from behind the three-point line because of his play.
Mike and then Frank.
Penny, everyone seems to have an opinion these days about who's done enough to get into the field. Have you guys, in your eyes, done enough, or do you have maybe not a number, but what you have to get done in this last week of the regular season and in Dallas to ensure that Memphis is part of that NCAA tournament?
For me, we've done enough. I really feel like we have. Beating Houston at Houston, beating Alabama at home when they're the hottest team in the country. Beating Virginia Tech, who's been playing pretty good basketball. We've done some things, that some other teams haven't. Our quad one record is pretty good. Our wins, and if that's what they're going by, then we've done a fantastic job in that area. Yeah, we've lost some games very early in the season, and then we had injuries when conference started, but ever since we've been kind of full staff with the exception of Imani, we've only lost 1 game together, so that should show everyone who we really are.
I'll finish up with Frank.
Penny, Jalen continues to make an impact both ends of the floor. I'm curious if he reminds you at all of a teammate or opponent from your own playing career.
Yeah, he reminds me of Chris Webber. Kind of has the same mannerisms as Chris Webber. Definitely, me and Rasheed spoke about that when he was here, and we were talking about Jalen's game. Those similarities for sure, I would say Chris Webber.
Okay. Yeah, one more real fast, Mark. Yep.
You mentioned Imani. Is there like a date or game where it's too late for him to come back? From whatever he's dealing with, back injury, or is there, do you have?
I don't think so. I don't think there's a date too late, if he's ready to play. We're just waiting on him.